for over 2,000 years. One name has echoed through history with betrayal: Judas, the disciple who sold Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. But what if the real story is far more disturbing than most people know? What drove a man who walked with Jesus, ate beside him, witnessed miracles with his own eyes, to become the most infamous traitor in human history? Was Judas always evil? Or did something happen slowly inside him? Tonight, we uncover the tragic rise and terrifying fall of Judas Iscariot. Before betrayal, Judas was a disciple, chosen personally by Jesus himself, not a stranger, not an outsider. He walked among the 12. Imagine that. Judas heard the Sermon on the Mount. He saw blind eyes open. He watched demons flee. He witnessed Lazarus rise from the dead. And yet, the closer Judas got to the light, the darker his heart became. The Bible first introduces him as Judas Iscariot, who later betrayed him, almost as if heaven already knew what history would remember. But Judas didn't begin as a monster. Like many people, his downfall began quietly, with hidden desires, secret disappointments, unspoken greed. Many scholars believe Judas followed Jesus for one major reason: power. In first-century Israel, many Jews expected the Messiah to overthrow Rome. They wanted a political king, a military ruler, a revolutionary. And Judas may have believed Jesus would become exactly that. Think about it. The disciples constantly argued about who would be greatest in the kingdom. They expected positions, authority, status. But Jesus kept talking about humility, suffering, sacrifice, dying. That wasn't the kingdom Judas wanted. Slowly, disappointment began turning into bitterness. And bitterness is dangerous, because disappointment with God can quietly become rebellion against God. Then the Bible reveals something shocking. Judas was the group treasurer. He carried the money bag. But Scripture says he was a thief. While everyone trusted him, Judas was secretly stealing. This is how darkness often begins. Not publicly, privately. A compromise here, a hidden sin there, until eventually the heart becomes divided. One day, a woman entered carrying expensive perfume. She broke the jar and poured it on Jesus. The room filled with fragrance. But Judas became angry.
Why was the ointment wasted?
Why wasn't this sold and the money given to the poor? Sounds spiritual, doesn't it? But the Bible exposes his true motive. He didn't care about the poor. He wanted the money. Greed had already taken root. And greed never stays small. Then came the turning point. One of the darkest verses in the entire Bible. The Scripture says, "Then Satan entered Judas." Imagine hearing that. A man who walked with Jesus opened the door to darkness. But Satan didn't force Judas.
Why are you wasting
The enemy exploited what Judas had already allowed inside: greed, offense, disappointment, rebellion. Sin creates openings. And eventually, Judas went to the religious leaders. "What will you give me if I deliver him to you?" The price? 30 pieces of silver. The price of a slave. The Son of God betrayed for pocket change. And perhaps the saddest part, Judas still continued pretending to be a disciple. Nobody suspected him. Even at the Last Supper, the other disciples asked, "Lord, is it I?" Not one of them pointed at Judas, because outwardly he still looked faithful. That night, in the Garden of Gethsemane, soldiers arrived carrying torches and weapons. And leading them was Judas. But the betrayal method he chose was chilling. A kiss. A sign normally used for love became a weapon of betrayal. Judas walked up to Jesus and said, "Greetings, Rabbi." Then he kissed him. And Jesus responded with words that still shake readers today. "Friend, do what you came for." Friend. Even in betrayal, Jesus spoke with sorrow instead of hatred. And suddenly, everything Judas thought he wanted began collapsing. Jesus didn't fight back. He didn't call angels. He surrendered. That's when Judas realized he had betrayed innocent blood. The guilt became unbearable. Judas returned the silver to the religious leaders. "I have sinned," he cried, "for I have betrayed innocent blood." But the leaders answered coldly, "What is that to us?" And in despair, Judas threw the money into the temple. Then he went away and hanged himself. The silver later purchased a field called the Field of Blood, a haunting reminder of betrayal. But here's the heartbreaking truth. Judas felt remorse, but never truly returned to Jesus. Peter also failed Jesus. Peter denied him 3 times. But Peter ran back to Christ. Judas ran deeper into despair. One found restoration. The other found destruction. The story of Judas isn't just about betrayal. It's a warning. Because it proves something terrifying. You can be close to Jesus and still have a heart far from him. Judas saw miracles, yet loved money more. He heard truth, yet embraced darkness. He followed Jesus physically, but never surrendered spiritually. And perhaps that's why his story still unsettles people today. Because Judas doesn't look like an obvious villain at first. He looks human. A man consumed slowly by hidden sin. A man who kept pretending. A man who stayed near Jesus externally while drifting internally. But even in this tragic story, there is still a lesson of hope. Because while Judas chose despair, Jesus still offers mercy to anyone willing to return. No matter how far someone has fallen, grace is still available. The real question is, when conviction comes, will you run away from God? Or run back to Him? Examine yourselves to see whether you are in the faith. 2 Corinthians 13 verse 5. Follow to Jude Nationwide for more Bible stories and powerful biblical truths.